Hello and welcome back to another video. Today is the match preview for Chelsea versus Liverpool. The Premier League has started. It's Chelsea's second game, Liverpool's second game, and it's been played on the 20th of September, tomorrow. Kick-off at 4:30 and you can watch it on Sky Sports. Hope you enjoy. Make sure you hit that like button to see more previews, and if this video gets, let's go with 75 likes. You can easily do that, I'm sure. I'll be putting out a review after the game, talking about who I think played well, what Chelsea did well, what Chelsea did wrong, we don't know yet, and I'll rate every single player's performance. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any videos I make. Okay, without further ado, let's get into my match preview. Okay, so like normal, we're going to start off with injury and suspension updates. So at Liverpool, they're in a much better position than Chelsea at the moment. They literally have one injury in Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's a great player and all, but he's not key for them. But we'll get on to Chelsea's injuries in a minute. They also have no suspensions, which means they pretty much have a full-strength squad ready to play Chelsea tomorrow. Their new signing, Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich, will not be ready to play yet, and neither will Diogo Jota from Wolves, as the transfer hasn't actually been revealed officially yet. But it might have done by the time this video goes out. But I think it'll be a great signing for them. I don't know how much game time he'll get, but I think he can maybe give Firmino a run for his money. Try and push Firmino to play a bit better, because he didn't do great last season, let's all be honest. Okay, so now Chelsea's injury updates. Christian Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech and Ben Chilwell are all out for this game. It's annoying, we've brought in Ziyech from Chilwell and they've both not been given their debut yet due to injuries. Ziyech got a knee injury in the friendly against Brighton. Chilwell had a heel injury that was affecting him at the end of last season with Leicester, and Pulisic got a hamstring injury in that FA Cup final. They're all out for this game, but hopefully going to be back and ready to play in a week's time. Thiago Silva, another signing we got in the summer, is also not match fit yet, but he's trying to work on his stamina, and he's also hoping to be ready by next weekend as well. Billy Gilmore, as we know, is still out with a knee injury after he had to have surgery, and he won't be back for another month. Right, now my predicted lineups. For Liverpool, I've gone with the 4-3-3, with Alisson Becker in goal, Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez at centre-back. Obviously, Trent and Robertson at full-back. That's a pretty obvious back line. I don't see him changing. Maybe Gomez could be replaced by Matip, but I'd be surprised. Fabinho at CDM for me. Maybe Henderson could go there, but I think Fabinho will play there. Gini Wijnaldum and Naby Keita in the midfield, 3 for me, with Roberto Firmino as the centre forward and their lethal wingers, Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. Now, on to Chelsea's predicted lineup. I'm also going with a 4-3-3, a little bit different to what we saw last week against Brighton. It was more of a 4-2-3-1 system. I'm personally going to stick with Kepa. I don't see Willy Caballero coming in instead of Kepa. He didn't have the best games against Brighton, but it wasn't a horrific performance. I think he'll stay. Azpilicueta at left back for me. I think Alonso didn't have the best game. He did get torn to pieces by Tariq Lamptey all game pretty much. And I think with Salah at right wing, obviously Azpilicueta is probably a little bit quicker than Alonso, and he's one of the best in the league at defending one-on-ones. So I think Azpi at left back, Reece James at right back, maybe he can try and out-physical Mane. Might not have him for pace, but yet again, he's not that bad at one-on-one defending. I've gone with Kurt Zuma and Andreas Christensen as a centre-back partnership. They had a solid game against Brighton. Didn't do terribly, but they didn't really put a foot wrong. I've gone with N'Golo Kante in the CDM role. I think maybe he could swap with Kovacic, who I've put as a little bit more forwards than him. Kovacic obviously didn't play against Brighton due to his suspension he picked up in the FA Cup final. Maybe Kovacic could play a bit deeper than Kante, with Kante getting forwards. But I think Kante will sweep up behind, Kovacic driving forwards. And I've gone with Ross Barkley at left centre mid, as when he came on for Ruben Loftus-Cheek last week, he just changed the game completely. He did brilliantly, personally. I think I'm going to stay with Kai Havertz and Mason Mount on the wings. Like I said, no Christian Pulisic. Callum Hudson-Odoi could play, they obviously didn't have their best games, but they're playing a bit narrow. They're playing in a bit of a more narrow formation than they're used to, maybe. And I've gone with Timo Werner up top again. I don't see Oli Giroud or Tammy Abraham leading the line against Liverpool. Right, now on to the danger men Chelsea need to look out for. Well, it's pretty obvious who the danger men are going to be. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane. They're two of the best attackers in world football. Their pace just burns defenders. They're great at finishing, and their link-up play is going to give Chelsea lots of problems. The creativity of Roberto Firmino could also trouble Chelsea. But I think as long as we have one defender on Firmino, then he can't try and do loads of fancy flicks like he does like to do. Also, Andrew Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold could give Chelsea something else to worry about, as they're known for going forwards from the fullback position and putting in some delicious crosses. I think Robertson, he's shown this season, I think he's a better fullback than Trent. Trent's not very good at defending, so maybe Chelsea could try and pick up on that. Try and focus some of the play down the left to catch Trent out, because we know he's not the best at defending. Also, like I said earlier, Liverpool did manage to sign Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich. Too early for him to play just yet, but Gini Wijnaldum and Naby Keita are just going to be just as good as we saw last season when we played them in the Premier League. That high-scoring game, Keita's goal, it was giving me nightmares still. It was brilliant. Jurgen Klopp is obviously a very good manager. He won Liverpool the league last season. They were miles in front of anyone, in front of Man City by a lot. And yeah, they were just the only team really in it the whole time. Frank has obviously had his, more like dispute last time we played him. And he has been asked about his relationship with Klopp. And he said that it's just football, really. They both respect each other as brilliant managers. And there's nothing between them at all, I don't think. Okay, lastly, my predictions. I think Chelsea are going to have a difficult time keeping Salah and Mane quiet, as they probably have most players on the pitch for pace. Maybe other than Timo Werner, but he's obviously going to be playing striker. However, I do think Chelsea will be trying to counter-attack whenever we have the chance. Maybe catch out the fullbacks. Like I said, Robertson and Trent go forwards a lot, but that's going to mean Van Dijk and Gomez are going to be left alone, and maybe Fabinho covered them, but he's not rapid. Van Dijk's okay. Gomez is quick, but I think Timo Werner's probably got it for pace. Havertz is also going to want to prove all the doubters wrong, as there were lots of people saying that he's a £72 million flop. He literally had one bad game. He was with the squad for 4 days, and okay, it wasn't the best of games, but he's definitely going to be determined, and he's going to be going for it. We have actually managed to beat the champions last season in the FA Cup, so it's not an impossible task. However, I do think it's going to be a very difficult game, and if we did have a full-strength side with maybe Hakim Ziyech, Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva at the back, I think we could beat him, but I think it's going to end 2-2 in a very entertaining game. Thanks a lot for watching this match preview. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment your predictions down below, who you think is going to score. Goodbye.